stop right there. If you think February is too cold to start your garden, you're about to miss the most critical planting window of the entire year. While everyone else is waiting for spring, the gardeners who know this secret are already 3 months ahead. What I'm about to show you will completely change how you approach early season planting. February isn't just another winter month. It's the hidden gold mine of the gardening calendar. The seeds you plant now will explode into harvests while your neighbors are still buying seedlings at premium prices. But here's the catch. You need to know exactly which seeds to sow, when to sow them, and the underground techniques that separate amateur gardeners from the pros. I'm going to break down the 15 seed varieties that are specifically engineered for February sowing, and why missing this window could cost you your entire spring harvest. Section 1. The February Advantage. Let me tell you something. Most gardening channels won't mention. February planting isn't about fighting the cold. It's about exploiting it. Certain seeds actually require cold stratification, a natural process where seeds need exposure to cold temperatures to break dormancy. When you sow in February, you're working with nature's biological programming, not against it. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. While the ground is still cold, these seeds are developing stronger root systems, deeper roots, more resilient plants. By the time April arrives and everyone else is just starting, your plants have already established themselves with root networks twice as deep. But there's a specific temperature range you need to understand. Soil temperature, not air temperature, is your real indicator. You need soil temps between 40 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Too early, the seeds rot. Too late, you've missed the advantage. Get yourself a soil thermometer. This $15 tool is the difference between success and failure. Section 2. Cold-hardy powerhouses. Spinach, the February champion. Spinach is your February MVP, but not the variety you think. Forget about summer spinach. You want Bloomsdale long-standing or winter Bloomsdale. These varieties are genetically adapted for cold soil germination. Direct sow these seeds when soil hits 40 degrees. Here's the secret technique. Soak your spinach seeds in water for 24 hours before planting. This cuts germination time in half. Plant them 1/2 inch deep, 2 inches apart, in rows 12 inches apart. Within 35 to 45 days, you're harvesting. But here's the gap knowledge most gardeners miss. Spinach planted in February develops higher nutrient density than spring-planted spinach. The cold stress triggers the plant to produce more vitamins and antioxidants. Broad beans. The protein. Powerhouse. Broad beans, also called fava beans, are criminally underplanted in February. These beans can handle frost down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. The variety you want is Aqua Dulce Claudia. This is a European heirloom specifically bred for winter sowing. Plant them 2 inches deep, 8 inches apart. The mistake everyone makes? Planting too shallow. Broad beans need depth for their extensive root system. These plants will be producing pods by late May, weeks before anyone else has beans. Each plant yields up to 3 pounds of beans. Do the math. 10 plants equal 30 pounds of high-protein harvest. Garlic chives, the overlooked perennial. Everyone knows about regular chives, but garlic chives sown in February become your permanent garden asset. The variety Geisha is your target. These seeds need light to germinate, so here's the technique. Press them onto the soil surface. Don't bury them. Cover with the thinnest layer of vermiculite. Garlic chives take 60 days from seed, but once established, they'll produce for 15 years. One February planting gives you 15 years of harvests. That's the compound interest of gardening. Quick pause. If you want to see more gardening tips and seeds to grow this February like this, hype this video so we can reach more gardeners. Hit that like button right now. It tells the algorithm to spread this information to people who need it. Section 3. Early salad crops. Lettuce, the speed demon. February lettuce planting is all about variety selection. Arctic King and Winter Density are your cold-tolerant champions. These varieties can germinate in soil as cold as 35 degrees. Standard lettuce? They need 45 to 50 degrees minimum. Here's the underground technique. Succession planting every 2 weeks starting in early February. This creates a continuous harvest from April through June. Sow seeds 1/4 inch deep. The key is density. Broadcast seeds, then thin to 4 inches apart. Those thinnings? They're your first microgreen harvest. Arugula, the 10-day wonder. Arugula sown in February has a completely different flavor profile than summer arugula. It's peppery, but not bitter. The variety Astro is your cold, hardy selection. These seeds will germinate in 40-degree soil within 5 to 10 days. Broadcast sow arugula in wide rows. Don't plant in lines. Wide rows create a microclimate that protects seedlings from frost. Cover with row cover fabric for the first 3 weeks. This simple step increases germination rates by 60%. Mache. The forgotten French secret mache, also called corn salad, is what French gardeners plant in February, while Americans are still planning. This crop can survive winters down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. The variety Vit is your target. Mache seeds are tiny. Mix them with sand for even distribution. Broadcast across prepared soil, then rake lightly. Don't bury deep. These seeds need light contact with soil. Within 50 days, you're harvesting rosettes that taste like buttery lettuce with nutty undertones. This is restaurant-quality salad that costs $30 per pound at farmers' markets. Section 4. Root vegetables. Parsnips. The patient investment. Parsnips are February's long-game crop. They take 120 days, but February sowing is non-negotiable. Why? Parsnips need cold soil to germinate properly. The variety Tender and True is your selection for February planting. Here's the critical technique everyone gets wrong. Parsnip seeds have a short viability window. Buy fresh seeds every year. Old seeds have 20% germination rates. Fresh seeds, 80%. Sow 1/2 inch deep, 3 seeds per spot, 12 inches apart. Thin to the strongest seedling. Parsnips planted in February are ready for harvest in June. But here's the secret. Leave them in the ground until after the first frost. Cold temperatures convert starches to sugars. Your February parsnips will be twice as sweet as spring-planted ones. Radishes. The quick-win radishes give you the psychological boost you need in early gardening. February Hybrid and Cherry Belle are your cold-tolerant varieties. These will germinate in 45-degree soil and be ready to harvest in 25 days. Plant radishes as row markers for slower germinating crops. Sow them alongside parsnips or carrots. The radishes germinate first, marking your rows, and they'll be harvested before the slow crops need the space. This is advanced garden planning that maximizes every square inch. Carrots. The February gamble that pays off. Carrots in February sound impossible. They're not. The variety Nantes Touchon is specifically bred for cold soil germination. These seeds can sprout in 45-degree soil, but here's the technique that changes everything. Pre-sprouting. Place carrot seeds between damp paper towels for 3 days before planting. You'll see tiny white roots emerge. Plant these pre-sprouted seeds 1/4 inch deep. Germination time drops from 21 days to 7 days. This technique alone is worth the price of admission. Section 5. Alliums and Brassicas. Onion sets versus seeds. The February decision. February is your last chance for onion sets, but it's your prime time for onion seeds. Here's the knowledge gap. Onion sets give you green onions in 60 days. Onion seeds give you storage onions in 100 days. The variety Ailsa Craig grows to 2 pounds per bulb when started from seed in February. Plant onion seeds 1/4 inch deep in cell trays. 6 weeks later, transplant into the garden. This method produces bulbs 40% larger than direct sown seeds. Space transplants 6 inches apart in rows, 12 inches apart. Kale, the indestructible green. Kale planted in February becomes your year-round producer. The variety Winterbor is genetically engineered for cold starts. These seeds germinate in 45-degree soil, and the plants can handle temperatures down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's the secret. Kale planted in February develops sweeter leaves than fall-planted kale. The extended cold exposure triggers sugar production. Direct sow 1/2 inch deep, 12 inches apart. Within 55 days, you're harvesting leaves. One plant produces for 8 months with proper harvesting technique. Cabbage, the February foundation. Early Jersey. Wakefield cabbage is your February variety. Start these seeds indoors in late January, transplant in February. But if you're in Zone 7 or warmer, direct sowing in early February works. The transplant technique matters. Bury cabbage seedlings up to their first true leaves. This creates additional root development along the buried stem. Your cabbages will be twice as stable and produce heads 30% larger. Section 6. Herbs and flowers. Cilantro, the bolt-resistant selection. Cilantro is a February star because it bolts in heat. February planting gives you months of leaf production before bolting. The variety Calypso is slow bolt and cold tolerant. Broadcast sow cilantro seeds. Don't plant in rows. Crush the seed husks before planting to speed germination. Each seed is actually 2 seeds in a husk. Crushing releases both and doubles your germination rate. Sweet peas, the fragrant investment. Sweet pea flowers started in February, bloom by May. The variety Matucana is a fragrant heirloom that requires cold stratification. These seeds need pre-treatment. Nick the seed coat with a file, soak overnight, then plant 2 inches deep. Sweet peas develop stronger stems when started in deep pots in February. Use toilet paper tubes as biodegradable pots. The deep tube encourages long root development. When you transplant, the entire tube goes in the ground and decomposes. Calendula, the medicinal marvel. Calendula officinalis, sown in February, produces flowers by April. These aren't just ornamental. Calendula petals are medicinal, edible, and attract beneficial insects. Direct sow 1/4 inch deep after last frost date. The secret? Calendula self-sows. One February planting creates a permanent calendula presence in your garden. Each plant produces hundreds of seeds. By year 3, you'll have calendula volunteers throughout your garden, beds, providing continuous pest control and pollinator support. Section 7. Advanced techniques, the row cover strategy. Every February, planting benefits from row cover fabric. This creates a microclimate 5 to 7 degrees warmer than ambient temperature. Install wire hoops every 4 feet, drape fabric over, secure edges with soil. This simple structure extends your growing season by 4 weeks on both ends. Your February seeds germinate faster, establish quicker, and produce earlier. The succession planting calendar. Don't plant everything on February 1st. Stagger plantings every 2 weeks. Early February, spinach, broad beans, garlic chives. Mid-February, lettuce, arugula, radishes. Late February, carrots, onions, kale. This succession ensures continuous harvests from April through September, not just one big harvest in June. February isn't the off-season, it's the secret season. The seeds you sow in the next 30 days will determine your garden's success for the entire year. While everyone else waits for perfect spring weather, you're building root systems, establishing plants, and setting yourself up for harvests that start months earlier. Get your soil thermometer. Get your seeds. Get planting. February is here, and your garden is waiting.